of your channels in one code, right? And that is Microsoft Bot Framework. So what Microsoft Bot Framework does is you write one code, and then no matter what channels you're using, right? So it has multiple channel support, and you can focus, or you can like
publish to many.
Sorry?
Publish to many.
Yes, you can publish to many channels and support your audiences from different channels, but your code will be same. Your code will be just one, right? You don't need to worry about writing 10 different code for the same thing, right? So what does it consist? So it consists of development tools, which is connectors, SDK and development. So connector is something like, for example, let's say if you are very serious about developing a bot and you want to do a bot, right? And let's say if you are not using any SDKs for bot, even though there are SDKs, but let's say those SDKs which we earlier saw might be supported for one particular platform. But let's say if you are doing by your own, or any SDK you're using, what does that SDK, what SDK gives you is, for example, when you are, anyone here have done any TCP IP or socket programming, right? So you guys know you have to, whenever you want to do any communication protocol or any communication app, you have to manage the connections. You have to listen, you have to create them, you have to destroy them, you have to keep track of all of those connection status and types and sending and receiving networking calls and stuff like that, right? So that's a hassle. It's a lot of hassle. And that's what Microsoft Bot Framework solves. It gives you a complete nice SDK which handles all of that mess for you. So you don't need to worry about how many connections are there, what connections are there, how to handle those connections, how to keep track of the status of those connections. It all handles for you. And you just get an abstraction layer where you can just focus on your functionality. Like I want to build a bot for ordering a pizza. So I don't need to care about how many connections I have to deal with and network programming and software programming, right? I will just focus on, okay, how many pizza, what size of pizza, how to order the pizza, and stuff like that, right? Which is specific to my case, to my bot. And on top of that, it also gives you some templates. Now, templates are kind of like a ready-made guidance of what kind of bot you want to build. So let's say if you want to build a bot where you're going to use some kind of natural language processing, right? So it gives you one template which will have Lewis in it. Lewis is Microsoft framework, and that would already be integrated in it, right? And so it would, then you can start from there and then keep on adding different other functionalities or change the existing one. Then it's a cross-platform, which is the beauty of it. So you can target multiple platforms. Either you can have it on your Facebook page. So anyone going to your Facebook page and type a message, your bot will answer that question, right? You can have it from Telegram, right? Or you can have it on your website as a pop-up window. Most of the website, you will know there is a little icon at the corner which pops up and then you type it. So you have chatbot there. Or you can have it in your own application as well. So if you have mobile application or if you have Windows application and you want your bot to be used there as well, you can do that as well. You can integrate it with Cortana as well. You can integrate it with Alexa. So if you have Alexa and you want your bot to answer from Alexa, you can do that as well. So it's whole wide range of channels. It's not just that you can do it on the website or it's still a transaction. You can do it with Cortana or anything, right? So that was bot framework, right? So let's say even if you have a bot framework, now you have the bot framework, you say, okay, there's a lot of things getting easier for me because I have a bot framework. I don't need to worry about underlying technologies. I will focus on my functionality. I wrote my functionality. Now what? Now you need to deploy it or host it somewhere, right? You're gonna then again go to the nightmare of managing the servers, scaling it up, scaling it down, and all those stuff which comes in, right? So that is where Azure.
I said it now. I need to put it on Twitter.
How do I send it?
To my mail.
Right.
Thank you.
So Azure Bot Service is, of course, an Azure service which is optimized for bot framework or for bot applications. So people who have used web service or app service on Azure might be familiar with it. So it's kind of like an abstract layer of app service where you can host your bot. So it allows you to host your bot and do many things additionally with that because it is optimized for bot. So if let's say you are using Louis, which we'll take a look at in a while. So let's say you have Louis. Now Louis is have its own website. Now you can define your intents and entities and everything in Louis because Louis is one service, it's one API, right? Now to use that API, like any other API, when you want to use, you have to get the API key and configure it in your application, right? So all those stuff, Azure Bot Service does it for you. So you don't need to go and do all this stuff by yourself, right? So it does it magically. It even creates your app into the Louis. If you're using like a template, we'll see it in a while, and manages everything for you, right? You can also do continuous deployment. You can set up continuous deployment. It also gives you ability to test your bot on the go. You can publish it to different channels from the Azure Bot Service itself, and it also connects to your source control, which we will see when we do and when we will create a build. So we talked a lot. Okay, let's see something in action. How many people have used before Azure? A lot of people. So you're familiar with this kind of like dashboard or a blade flow of it. So I'll just try to show you how to create a new bot very easily. So from the Azure, Microsoft Azure, if you do not have Azure, you can have Azure Pass, which is $100 free Azure Pass. You can use it as well. You can try it out. So you click new, and there is a tab called AI plus machine learning, right? And these are all related to AI services, like you want to do computer vision, face, text analytics, a lot of things which comes in cognitive services. But we will focus on bot, right? So web app bot, select that, and then you enter your bot name, whatever you want to do. Let's say we go to Global AI Bootcamp Mumbai. That's it. And then you set up all the resource group, and if you have different subscription, different resource group, wherever you want, the location and everything. And there's also bot template. Right? This is what I was talking about, right? Now there are two languages which is supported by bot framework. Either you can use Node.js or C#. I use C#. And then there are a couple of bots here, EcoBot and BasicBot. BasicBot, so EcoBot is just gonna be very like hello world application. So whatever you type to the bot, bot will reply by saying the same thing, right? And sometimes anyway. Anyways, BasicBot is something which will have Louis integrated with it, and it also gives you one template and also one form in it. So you know how does the form works, how does the template work, and how does the Louis work. So we'll use that one to see what's the basic concept of that, right? When you select the location, let's keep it the same and create, right? Now this is going to deploy my bot, and once that's done, we'll see what it has done, right? Just by using this click off button. Any questions here? I would stop to answer the question. No questions? All good? Either you understood or you completely got it. I assume you understood it.
Okay.
Cool. So it's in deployment is in progress. If yeah.
Yeah.
As example, is taken by Harishankar Maurya. So he's using chatbots in his finance, in banking sector. So he's doing transactions, opening FD and all those things. So means security also comes over there, like transaction security and all. So how bots handle those things?
Okay, good question. Very good question. So yeah, definitely, you have to keep in mind about how you are doing it securely. So first of all, any bot you have, whether it's by your web channel, whether it's by on your any other channel like Facebook or anything, you will do authentication first, right? And there is a way where you can do the automation. Authentication can be done firstly on as a separate entity. So that you will definitely do. If it is in your app itself, and your app is taking care of authentication, right? You will do that. First, that's one thing, right? Other than that, obviously, you will use standard mechanisms like HTTPS, right? You will do SSL pinging. So those kind of things. If you're using channels, public channels like Messenger, right? Then you don't need to care about it because Messenger, Facebook is going to take care of it, and bot on the bot side, Microsoft is going to take care of that. But if you're doing specifically for your app, if let's say you are doing, you want to integrate a bot in your particular mobile application, then you have to take care of all the SSL pinning. So it's kind of like an API. So there's no like publish direct that you configure button and it is published on your app. If you're doing it on your app, then you have to call the APIs for the bot framework. When you're calling the bot framework, then it's essentially same as how you're calling any other APIs. So you'll take care of all the standard best practices for the securities. Either it is SSL pinning or keeping the your username and passwords onto a secure keychain access and everything like that. Right? Is that what you meant? Right? Yeah. So deployment is successful. Let's go to that and see what happened. Right. So this is my bot. Okay. Let's just try to test it. So here is the test. Let's check. So within the Azure portal itself, I can test my bot on the go. So anytime you have developed your publish, you want to check and see how it is behaving, right? So this is what it does. When I say hi, it gives me this dialog to like learn more about what framework, and then what framework. So this is again a dialog. So if I answer it, I might. My name is Sohel. So I don't want to say my name is Sohel. I will type whatever language I want because not everyone is fine. Yeah. So it's yeah. I think so. This ignore this. So this is the dialog, right? It asks me, okay, Sohel, what is your city you live in, and then I enter my city, and then it will say, okay, nice to meet you. Right? So it's just an example of how does the dialog work. So a similar dialog you can have for ordering a pizza or e-commerce. So let's say you can, if it is a pizza ordering bot, then user will say, I want to order pizza, and then you will say, okay, what is the size of the pizza? Then you say small, medium, large, and then you say, okay, what kind of toppings you want, what kind of beef sauce you want, if you want cheese burst or if you want to add Coke in it, if you want to add garlic bread on it, and then it goes up, right? So that's a form. But if I want to cancel this form, I'll say cancel. Okay? So then you cancel the form, and it's now out of the form, right? So let's just try to see in Louis what it has done in Louis, right? So we will come to that later, onto the Louis. So this is in, like just by 2 or 3 clicks of the button, it has created this basic setup of my bot. Not right? Let's come back to slides and we'll go back there again. Now Louis is what previously you guys were mentioning, a couple of guys were asking about. So any bot you make will need some kind of language understanding, right? Definitely. Now, there are multiple language understanding tools available, but from Microsoft, it's LUIS, right? And the way LUIS works is it's part of a cognitive services. So it is cognitive services, if you know, is kind of like a tree of like different AI services within Microsoft. Has a lot of APIs, and one of the API is LUIS, and it's an open. It's kind of like a REST pattern. So the way you are using HTTP request is the same way API request, the same way you can use LUIS as well, right? And its model is divided into entities and intents. I think Hari explained what is entity and intent, so you guys understand it. We'll see what is entity and intent in action just right now. It also has some pre-built entities. So let's just see what it is. Right? So here is LUIS. It's tiny. Cool. Any questions? If you have, just feel free to ask, right? Or you just click pictures. I have my Twitter ID.
Yeah, I've shared it with the.
Right?
If you follow the account Hackmom, you'll find everything, that speakers, everything.
Okay. Yeah,
Hackmom,
just if
HACKMM
you
on
learn
Twitter.
Anything, I mean, you don't have to like brainstorm on it. Just if you want to tweet it, just tweet what you learned today, like one or two things which you learned, and then that's it. Okay, so you see here, GAIB Mumbai is what I have created, right, just now. So it created LUIS already, and it configured the LUIS with my bot service. Now, these are the intents, right? These are the default intents which are created in LUIS. Cancel, greeting, help, and done. Now, if the user says, hello, nice to meet you, that definitely is a greeting intent, right? So when I type something like that, LUIS will say, okay, I think user is trying to do greeting, right? And then we can say, okay, you're doing the greeting. Okay, I'll type back, hi, nice to meet you as well, or hello, how can I help you? Or like that kind of answers, right? And I was in the middle of something that I was doing, let's say, transaction, or I was ordering a pizza, and I added 2 toppings, and then in middle I said, oh, no, the party got cancelled, right? I don't want pizza anymore. So I type cancel, and then the LUIS will say, okay, I think user is trying to cancel something. It will give me this keyword or this intent and say, okay, I think user has typed cancel, and say, okay, fine. Destroy all the objects which were created back to start point, right? So this is how it does. And you can create new intent. So let's say you are doing e-commerce. Now you create a new, and then you can type your intent name, whatever it is. Let's say order, okay? And then say done. It's very simple and easy to use. And here you can type like examples of what can be an order. So I can say, I want to order, right? Or if it is, let's say, pizza for the bot, then say, give me pizza. You don't have anything, right? So this is what we are trying to say, that this kind of utterances, if LUIS comes across, that means it is user is intent to order a pizza, right? And then there is entities. So entities would be something like, for example, if I say, I want to order Hawaii. No. Okay, I don't know. Is that correct?
Oh no, pineapple.
Why not? Because that's more disputed, right?
Oh no. Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So if I type like this, then Hawaiian is the topping, which is kind of like what I want. So if this kind of string comes into picture, if user types in, then Luis will say, okay, definitely this is order intent, right? But in this order intent, there's also data, and that data is Hawaiian. So this is my entity. Now I have entity. Okay, I don't have that entity created, so I would say topping. It is my new entity, right? And there's an entity type, so it can be different type of entities. Right? So I then map it to topping entity. And then I say, okay, this is all what I want. Now I'll go train my Lois. Once it is trained, I'll publish it, and that's it. It's live. Then I can use it for my bot and process it. Right? Yeah, so I'll publish, and then that's it. Cool. So coming back here.
So you have 5 minutes.
Wow.
Coming back.
Cool. Okay, so that's in basic what it is. But we want to focus on bot and its DevOps. So these are the usual workflow for any bot or in general any application. So anything you start with a mockup, even though it's bot, even though you will not have UI, but you will have user experience. And you will go through and brainstorm around what kind of functionality you want, how those functionalities are going to lay out, how the dialog will appear, and how it will flow. So that's what you start with a workflow. And then these are the steps where Azure Bot Service can help you. So you will create first, where you will write your code in your local machine or wherever you like it. Then you will build it. So when it comes to build, you can set up a build in Azure Bot Service, and that can connect to your either VSTS, GitHub, whichever, wherever your code is.
No, what is this?
Right? You can also set up the deployment. So whenever you check in the new code, it automatically triggers the deployment. You can test it, which we did just now from the bot service itself. So it gives you an emulator, which you can test your app. And it can also let you connect to different channels. You can publish it there. And there's also tracking. So it also allows you to get some insights and trends from your bot, like which is the channel which is utilized the most, where your users are using your application the most, what kind of functionality they are using it the most. Are they just using it for question answers, or are they really ordering it from there? So those kinds comes quite handy. So let's just see in action very quickly, because we are short of time. So let me just go. So this is one bot which I have already prepared. Now, actually let's just go to this one, which we just now prepared. Just want to show you how do you set up the build, right? So you go to the build option, and this is going under work, so it's going to have a new template here, but anyways it's going to be similar. So you click on setup, and then just step by step you follow that. So configure which is your source. So either you can GitHub, OneDrive, TFS, or VSTS, GitHub, whatever it is, right? Click on that. It asks you to log in through GitHub. I'm already logged in, so it picked up my account with this authorization, and then I choose my project. So if I have hosted in, if you're using Git to your family, you just choose your project or repository, and that's it. So let's say if I choose this, just to show you guys, then I choose branch. I have only master branch, so it is selected by default, and that's not the process. And then click OK, and that's it. So when that is done, it is your deployment is your build is set up, right? Now, anytime I add new check-in code, it will kick in the build. So let's take an example of this one, just 5 minutes more.
Oh no, you have only 1 minute lost.
Cool, no problem. Anyways,
Or what we can do is we can continue in the boot camp.
I'm just gonna give 5 minutes.
Nay, 1 minute, because that'll be late, and then this will be spillover.
Okay, cool, no problem. We'll finish this one and then that's it. So yeah, see this one, right? So let's test this one. Now there is one functionality which I have removed from it, so I can type like can help you. So I type this. My bot says I didn't understand what you just said, right? So it's not understanding. So let's try to do something. So I'll go to my source code and I will edit this. Either you edit it from here or usually you will edit it from Visual Studio and then it will kick in here. But let's say to save time and do it from here. And I'm going to add this code, which is nothing but an intent. Right. So I'll added this intent. I mean, the concept is to just show you how the build is created. So I committed the changes and that's it. So once I committed the changes, because this is the project from which my Azure bot service is taking the code. So if I go to build and see here, you see, it's already started building. So as soon as I published new changes to the GitHub, it already started building. Once it's built complete, we'll check, type, if you can help me, and it will reply back, hopefully, with the answer. So that's pretty much it. There are a couple of scenarios like how to architect your bot using it, but yeah, I think if you want more details on it, you can just come back, ask me personally, and you can go more into detail.
Can you go back to the previous slide? Previous.
Yeah.
More 2 slides back. Yeah, this one.
Yeah. It's anyways available to this UI as well. But yeah, so that's pretty much about how the bot and DevOps of the bot is done in Azure Bot Service. If you want more code samples, there are plenty of code samples in this URL. Okay, fine. So assume it's already done, right? So once it's taking, usually it doesn't take this much, but if it was done, then if you go back and test it, it will return the answers. So that's it. Yeah. Any question, just feel free to reach me out. And
Okay. Thanks a lot.
cool. Thank you.